Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Joanne Marie Andrade, and I am with the City of Boerne Planning Department. I'll be facilitating this Boerne neighborhood discussion, or B&D, regarding the Scooters Coffee Drive-Through Special Use Permit. Today is August 19, 2025, and we're here to ensure that everyone has an opportunity to learn about and discuss this proposed development. Your feedback today is essential and will directly impact the next steps in this process. Let's go ahead and get started. First, I want to give a brief overview of what Boerne neighborhood discussion meetings are all about. These meetings are an informal opportunity for residents like you to learn about developments proposed near your homes and businesses. For developers, these meetings are a chance to gain early insight into community perspectives, which can help identify potential issues before the project is formally considered by the city. For residents, this is your chance to learn more about the developments, voice your concerns, and provide input that could help shape the project. I want to emphasize that these meetings are for informational purposes only. They do not replace the formal public meetings that are required for official consideration of the project. Now let's dive into the main topic of today's discussion, the Scooters Coffee Special Use Permit. Today's agenda includes a presentation by the applicant and followed by an open discussion where we will welcome questions and feedback from residents. Finally, we'll wrap up a discussion on next steps where we'll outline what happens after today's meeting and how you can stay involved in the process. Before we hear from our developer, it's important to understand what a special use permit or SUP is. The purpose of an SUP is to allow for uses that are not automatically permitted within certain zoning areas. This process ensures that any proposed use is compatible with the surrounding community and environment. Here are the key steps. SUPs require extra staff attention and a thorough review to align the project with community needs and expectations. The city also assesses how the project may impact traffic, safety, and property values. Now, your role, public input is crucial. You'll have opportunities to share your feedback during formal public hearings before any decisions are made. This project will also go before the Planning and Zoning Commission for a public hearing, providing another chance to review and comment. Feedback gathered from today's meeting will be shared at the P&Z meeting to ensure your voices are heard. Finally, ongoing oversight. If approved, the project must adhere to specific guidelines. The approval is tied to the site plan, so any major changes will require additional review and approval. Now, the location here is 31500 IH10. It is next to the existing Bill Miller's BBQ restaurant. The zoning is C3, which is transitional commercial, and it is within the Scenic Interstate Corridor overlay. I do want to clarify that the use Scooters Coffee is allowed within the C3 zoning district, but the drive-through is what the special use permit will allow for. So next, let's hand it off to the applicant and the developer. I will stop sharing my screen so you can take over.
Terrific, and I'm happy to share my screen. I don't know, Andrew, if you want to speak first, or if you want me to go. Hopefully we have the 3D rendering. Looks like it's up there. So thank you for having this. We appreciate the time to share the project that we're proposing. So my wife and I are local to Boerne. We actually live across the street from this site, and we have 2 children that are in Boerne ISD. One that's at an event tonight. That's where my wife is at. But we're proposing to bring a Scooters Coffee drive-through to Boerne and to this lot specifically. We currently own and operate 1 store in Kerrville, and it's been going well. And so we'd like to expand our presence into Boerne. And Boerne was our first choice, but Kerrville happened to line up first. So this rendering shows kind of what our building looks like. It's a relatively small footprint, only 668 square feet. And as Joanna said, we're proposing a drive-through to go with this. I'm going to go to, this is the site layout that our folks have proposed. On this west side over here is I-10 frontage road. And as said before, down here would be the Bill Miller. And then to the north is the existing gas station. We are proposing again a drive-through that wraps around the building with about a 12-car stack to go with it. And then some parking spots that will be for our sole use. And then we're also in partnership with Bill Miller Group developing some shared parking spots to be used between our location and their location. One other call out, I guess, is, and we can look at the landscaping plan if I can go the right way. So in our landscaping plan, we are trying to go for 100% xeriscape, where we're not having any grasses, or anything that would require additional watering. We're trying to do all native plants. We're also proposing to do this bioswale here. So instead of just sheeting water into the drain, it'll actually go through this center area, water the plants, and then off to the water treatment facility. So it will go through a biofilter before it hits the city water stream. I can pause there, or Andrew, if you want to add anything in addition, please go ahead.
Thank you, Andrew. I was having trouble unmuting my phone. Everything you said that was spot on. Good summaries. Um, the proposed site layout, as shown, complies with the city requirements for setback requirements. We are, with the landscape plan, have met with the requirement for the overlay district that we are within. The site plan that is in front of your screen now proposes counterclockwise rotation vehicular entrance, circulate counterclockwise to the pickup window. The primary service for the Scooters Coffee is primarily serviced through pickup window. There is no dining or seating inside the facility, the 668 square foot building itself. I believe this location will have a potential for a walk-up scenario if you wish to walk up and pick up your beverage, but there is no proposed outdoor seating of any sort. Traffic queue for the car queuing meets the minimum requirements per the city. We actually are able to fit in, I think, 3 additional spaces with the proposed layout. Cross access between the existing Valero, Napa, and Bill Miller's is the only way to get in and out of our lot, since there's no new proposed driveways. It just uses the existing driveways off of the adjoining streets to the Plan West, which is I-10 frontage, to the east, I think Scenic Loop and Cascade Caverns. Utilities are all available and stubbed to the location, so there's no issue with trying to provide utilities to the proposed use. The special use permit, again, is for this facility is for allowing the drive-through use, as that is the only part that was not allowed per the current zoning.
Okay, great. Does that conclude your presentation from the applicant side?
I think so. Happy to
Okay,
answer any questions.
great. Let's open it up. If anybody is from the public has any questions or comments, we'd be happy to take them. Okay, well, let me see if I can put a little more context or maybe spark some questions. Do you anticipate any additional noise, lighting, or visual impacts from this drive-through going in?
All of our, and Andrew can speak to this better than I can, but all of our lighting will be in compliance with the the dark city requirements, all downlit. For noise, no, we don't anticipate increasing any noise, volume, if you will, across that entire corner. I think everyone that travels that area is very familiar with the number of cars moving in and out, and kind of the noise from the interstate. So we don't anticipate any increase or detrimental impact to any of the neighbors.
Okay, how about traffic and circulation? Will you provide a traffic impact analysis, or have you guys considered if that stacking is adequate for your use?
Yeah, and maybe Andrew, thanks for coming off mute. I'll let you speak to those.
And certainly, not a problem. With the proposed use, the small building footprint for this facility per the Institute Transportation Engineering Code Book, the ITE code manual, we've run the calculation that since it's such a small building footprint, 668 square feet, the proposed trip generation is below the threshold that requires a formal traffic impact analysis. So we've done the calculation worksheets per the city requirements and have submitted that to the Public Works Department for review and concurrence. The shared load of the additional traffic generated by the coffee shop, the additional trips or vehicles coming through and fro the property will be sharing the existing driveway accesses that service both the Valero, the Bill Millers, and the Napa Auto Parts. So technically, the proposed traffic increase is actually mitigated because it's split to all the existing driveways. So based on the numbers that have been calculated on the coffee use shop use, the trip generation is no major increase that is beyond the city allowances.
Okay. Is there anyone, has this brought up any questions? Anybody else that's on the line that may want to comment or have any questions? Okay, and I know that you had mentioned that there may be an option to do walk-up service. One of the questions is pedestrian safety, how, and I can see it on your site plan, maybe you can elaborate on how we will, your site will protect, how will pedestrians safely move between their parking area and the building while crossing their drive-through?
That's a good question. Yeah, the angled parking that is adjacent to the drive-through is for the both the employee parking and anybody that wishes to potentially purchase their beverage and walk up to procure it. The idea would be you would traverse along the parking lot and cross the drive-through at the dedicated and striped access for ADA access. And there's a sidewalk path that winds up towards the drive-through, towards the front of the Scooter's coffee shop. Again, the overwhelming majority of the business is done through the drive-through, just for expediency of time. But for anybody that wishes to park and walk up, that would be an option. And then additionally, we have an ADA accessible route and handicap route all the way proposed all the way towards the I-10 frontage, which follows basically Plan West to that location. Existing grass along the Bill Miller's lot and the existing or the proposed xeriscape shrubbery proposed with the development and the landscape plan provide both an aesthetic view of using native grasses and shrubs, and kind of marries a good way of segue between the raw earth and the proposed pavement. And no handrails or anything for grade breaks are necessary, as you're able to park on a level parking surface and traverse either directly across if you're able to look both ways, or through the dedicated striping there that is the ADA path that is required per city regs and state regs.
Okay, Thank you, Andrew. Can we go back to the site plan? Okay. Oh,
No, I'm very challenged on getting my computer to cooperate. There we go.
okay. Now, one question that might come up is where would they place the orders? Um,
Yeah, so we do a couple things. So we do have a traditional speaker box that
mhm.
is sits right here. It should be. Well, actually, we have it back. You can put an extra. So the speaker order area is right here. And so in times that are slower, we don't have as many cars, we would be, taking the order here before they get to the window. But we do proactively use folks outside to take orders to, expedite the process of getting through the line. Um, we are very quick. For example, in Kerrville, we average 2 minutes. So from the time that you pull into this spot to the time you leave our window is just 2 minutes. And so we do that through, again, a combination of being fast as you order here, but also being outside to, again, proactively move move folks through the queue.
Okay, so from the ordering, I guess, speaker box, how many cars do you have space for stacking?
So that is six. Well, so six, including the one at the window.
Okay, and then from the entrance to the speaker box is,
Six more.
okay. You'd want to include that in your SUP application, kind of explaining your operations there, that you do have the speaker box where you have the stacking, as well as how you, your timing and your mitigation measures as to having somebody out there to help, clear the stacking as quickly as possible. That's a question that may come up for P&Z as well as some of our community members. Traffic is a big concern for this community.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. And one last time, if anybody joined us during the meeting or has any other questions, comments, or concerns, speak now. You don't have to hold your peace. We will have other opportunities during the public hearing to provide comments or to email us at planning. But for this meeting, I'm going to give it a couple seconds. Anybody? Okay. So I think we'll close the discussion and then talk about next steps.
Okay.
Mr. Andrew, if you could stop sharing your screen and I'll pull up the rest of, I think I just have like one slide left. All right, so as we conclude, here are our next steps. The applicant will review any feedback that we may receive after this meeting, and will make necessary adjustments to the project during the P&Z Commission public hearing. The date will be announced. I think we're aiming for the October 6th date, but you can sign up to get agenda notifications and look out for this agenda item, or you can contact the planning department to figure out what date the SUP will go before P&Z. Feedback from today's meeting and anything we receive up to the up to the meeting date will be shared with the commission. And so there will be another chance for you to share your thoughts. Once again, our email is there for any comments that you might want to submit. And I did say to monitor the city's website for updates and meeting notices. I just want to thank anyone who joined us on the line and our applicant for participating. This is a great opportunity for the community and developers to communicate and learn what's going on with the city. So thank you again, and everyone have a great afternoon and evening.
Thank you.